Hey, this is Sarah with TrueMe, and today we're going to dissect a nutrition label. And what we chose to look at is Kellogg's Smart Start Healthy Heart. This is something that people may choose because it sounds really healthy. Let's look at the label list to actually see if that's the case. First of all, this is based on a 2,000 calorie diet. Your recommended daily allowance is in each one of these categories. So keep that in mind. It's not a one size fits all. First of all, the calories. You're looking at 230 calories. Right away, it's going to tell you how much of those calories are from fat. So 20 calories from this one is from fat. If you look at your total fat, it's usually broken down into two additional categories, saturated and trans fat. You will get a recommendation for saturated, but not for trans fat. That should be a category that you should have 0, because it's really toxic to our system. So 5% of this meal will count towards your 100% in one day based on a 2,000 calorie diet. Your cholesterol's at 0. Here's sodium. It's at 6% at 140 milligrams. You want to have 2,000 or less milligrams of salt per day. So that's something to pay attention to. Potassium's at 11%. Total carbohydrates, 46 grams and 15%. When you start to reach something towards 20%, that's considered high nutrient density based on this, and 5% or less is low nutrient density. So anything that's like 5 here, it's going to say it's kind of low in fat. Anything approaching 20% like carbohydrates, that's a little higher in carbohydrates. You won't get a recommendation for protein. This is really based on the individual and your activity. So if you have low amount of activity, you're going to have about 0.3 grams of protein per pound of body weight. If you have high activity and you're a TrueMate, you're going to need about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Here we have sugar at 17 grams. Also no recommendation, but here's the key. 35 grams of added sugar or 50 grams or less of total sugar. So the World Health Organization just changed the recommendation to 5% of your total diet. So if we're talking about 2,000 here, 5%, you're looking at a total of 50 grams or less in your diet. Finally, and even more importantly, I want you to look at the ingredients list. This is where it gets tricksy. So this is a really long list. When you see a long list, that's your first like, ooh, that's a red light. You should really stop and consider all of the ingredients. The top 5, and really starting from number 1 down, it's the highest percent to the lowest percent. So the first thing, this is the strongest ingredient is oat bran. It's an oat cereal, that's good. The second one's rice. The third one's sugar. Not great to have that so high in the ingredients list. Oat clusters. In the oat clusters, in parentheses, it tells you what the oat clusters are made out of. This is crazy. Sugar, oats, sugar, high fructose corn syrup, and then partially hydrogenated soybean oil. Not so good. And then the 5th ingredient here is wheat flakes. So really look a little bit further so you know what you're looking for and you know what ingredients are important to you. You don't want to see hydroge or high fructose corn syrup really high, really at all in that list. And then finally, right at the bottom of some of your nutrition labels, it will say if it contains wheat or soy or peanuts, common allergies, so that you can avoid them. So take a closer look. I hope you learned something new today, and happy shopping.